This tutorial is going to show you how to create a Blendspace page for your students and to set up an account and get rolling right from the start. Blendspace's claim is that you can create a Blendspace in less than 5 minutes, and it's a pretty accurate claim. Now, you can invite your class to join and create student accounts, and you can manage your classes here on the left side. Right now, what these are considered is they're called lessons, so you think of them more like a web quest. And I've played with two here with Energy Native Americans, but I'm going to go ahead and create a new Blendspace. It's going to ask you for the name of the Blendspace when you get started, so I will call this one Community Helpers. So if I was teaching a lesson about different kinds of community helpers, I would choose that title for my Blendspace. Now you have a lot of options here. You can drop a resource in, and the resource comes from this right column. You can bring in a resource from Google, from OpEd, from Flickr, from EduCreations, from Guru. You can do a web page. You can upload media files of your own that you may have saved on your computer, or you can use cloud integration from Dropbox, Google Drive, or you can just sort of bookmark that you might have from your browser. In this case, I would want to start with something engaging and motivational, so I'll go ahead and I would look for a Google image. I can search the web or the images back and forth here. So I'm going to do community helpers. I'm going to say, let's start with a firefighter, because that would be an example of a community helper. And there we go. So I would select a photo, and you can preview it bigger by clicking on preview. That's the one you want. You can go ahead and drag it over to the first box, and you're able to enter a label. I can simply say firefighter. And if I want to go a little deeper with this, I can also go ahead and add a caption about it, so students can click on that and read more about the firefighter. Now I may say I want them to focus on all community helpers, so maybe what I would do next is I would search for a website, and this time I might say about a policeman. Now it gives me a lot of different options, of course. Not all of them will be appropriate, but if you notice, I'm not leaving Blendspace to do any of this. I can peruse it as a teacher, and this one's a policeman, the definition of a policeman. So if we're doing this for young children, I might say this is the resource I want, and again, I just simply drag it to the second cell, and now I have another resource my students can learn about, a link. You may already have a web page you have in mind. Now I went out in advance and got the BrainPop Junior website. I actually copy and pasted, and I can just paste that in here, click the search button, and it brought that one up particularly. So if you have a couple links you might already want, you can bring those in, and I'm going to bring the BrainPop video right in there, and you can just see it's loading a kind of a snapshot preview of BrainPop. So right now my students were learning about community helpers. They would have a firefighter picture to look at, they'd have a policeman definition, and they have a BrainPop video on community helpers in general. You might decide that might be enough for your students. You could certainly bring in more resources. You can actually go and hit add text and type in a worksheet. You could upload any information you may have, but this works really nice. It works just like you would use a Word document. And an even more interesting option for a blank cell is to add a quiz. And when you go ahead and add a quiz, you can write a question. I might say, what do firefighters wear? Question mark. And then you can give them two choices, and the correct answer can be marked over here. You can add more answers if you want to have a 4-choicer. And then you can add more questions. So the students actually take a quiz after viewing all your resources in Blendspace. Now, of course, I didn't answer a question, so we're not going to add that one right now. Now, after you're all done, you'll be able to save these and then access them or apply them to your class that you set up earlier to share with your students. If you don't set up a class, you still do have some share options. For example, if you go up to the top button here, you can click on share, and it'll actually create a link that takes students right to your particular Blendspace. You also can embed it through Edmodo, Twitter. You can email it to somebody, Facebook. A lot of options. You also can set this up if you want to upgrade and we're interested in using Blendspace more often to collaborate where multiple users can access one Blendspace. If you have multiple teachers working at one grade level, they could all create the same Blendspace and modify it as they see fit. And you can control the privacy of your Blendspace. For example, anybody can view this lesson if I share that link. And which resource can be copied from this? Well, all of them. So if people like them, they can take all of them, or we can say, nope, these are my resources, sorry, I'm not sharing. It's completely up to you. So that's Blendspace, and as you can see, it does take 5 minutes. If you want to make a bigger one, you just add another row. And it might be even a great way for students to present information if you have them going on a web quest. This is all in one place. You don't have to have multiple tabs open. It really simplifies the entire process.